I can like slowly feel like it's probably about time to change my tampon. And I happen to look down and I'm like, it's happening. It's actually happening. And I'm like getting the wipes out of the diaper bag. And Dimitri's freaking out. He's like, Mama, you have a boo-boo. Are you okay?
You gotta get on my level.
Hey, I'm Leah Van Dale, and this is Hot Mom Shit, the podcast where we live in the and. We're going to laugh, we're probably going to cry, and I'm definitely going to say something I probably shouldn't. If you've ever looked like a babe on the outside while completely losing your shit on the inside, you are exactly where you need to be.
Welcome back to Hot Mom Shit. I feel like it's been a minute, and I say that every week because it has been a minute. I mean, I haven't recorded in a week, but like, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode with Tara. I'm obsessed with her. Genuinely, she had so much great insight into motherhood, and like, I just kind of want to keep picking her brain for the amount of people that she gets to talk to about motherhood and like all of the things. So I just love her so much. I hope you guys like the episode. I wanted to talk about something that happened to me this past weekend. I kind of had this whole realization, just like epiphany. I don't know what you want to call it. I had all of the things happen to me this past weekend. Before we get into that, I need to talk about something else that happened to me this weekend. This is so fucking embarrassing to even talk about, but I feel like I need to talk about it. This is what we do on this podcast. We keep it real. And I got my period through my outfit the other day in public when I was out with my kids. And I am so mortified, like literally so mortified. I can't even believe this happened. I'm at a point now where I'm postpartum. I'm almost 10 months postpartum. I've only had like 2 periods, right? It's like hit or miss. You never know when it's coming. I did know, however, at this point, I was literally on my period for days at this point. It's not like it just came out of nowhere. So like, did I just forget how it can be? Like, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I've had my period my entire fucking life, it feels like. I know it, when you're like postpartum and pregnant, it's like not quite as prevalent, but okay, let me break it. Let me just like tell you what happened. I have to explain it because I feel like if I don't talk about it, then it's like something that's just living inside of me because no one was with me to laugh with about it. My kids, like, I mean, I've probably traumatized Dimitri because he's like, Mom, like, oh my God, it was so fucking, it was terrible. Like I'm so embarrassed. This is like crazy. So, okay. I had my kids this weekend solo, right? I was with them by myself and I'm going to get into all of that. But to take them out for the day, we went to Target just to kind of like, you know, get out of the house. And Dimitri told me that this is a sidebar, but he was telling me that they have farting pigs at Target. So he really wanted to go there because he saw them. There were Gigi last week. So he wanted to go back and see the farting pigs. And I was like, what's a farting pig? And I asked my mom, she's like, oh, I don't even know what that is. So he went there. He didn't find the farting pigs because he lied. He made that up. So there were no farting pigs at Target. But I was intrigued. I was like, sure, let's go find the farting pigs. We went, didn't find any. Then we decided I hate cooking on the weekends. Like I meal prep on Mondays for the week and kind of like we have leftovers. Like I fucking hate cooking. It's just, if I can cook for leisure and just have a good time and cook for like a nice dinner and there's no pressure, I love to cook. But if I have to cook because it's like everyone's hungry and I like to give my kids like clean whole foods. That's not to say that they don't have a fucking donut. Oh, Bram doesn't. Dimitri's almost 3. He has a donut once a week because his dad brings him a donut from the airport. But I like to do clean whole foods. I'm like so digressing. However, we go to Mission Barbecue. Have you guys ever been to Mission Barbecue? This place is fucking amazing. It is so good. And like the turkey there is so incredible. And my boys both love meat. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get like a bunch of meat, turkey, chicken, some sides. And we're going to take it home. We're all going to eat. It's going to be a good time. Mind you, they know me there. Like they know me as Carmella from my WWE days. They know my husband. We go there like once a week, sometimes twice. So they know me there. And they're always like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. Your husband's on a pay-per-view this weekend. Or yeah, it was SummerSlam last weekend. So they knew he was away. We were like chat up a little bit about that. Waiting for the takeout. And then Dimitri says like, Mama, can we eat here? I want to eat at the restaurant. I wanted to do order ahead. So I can just like place the order, run in, like park right next to the door, run in and grab the food and bring it to the car because taking 2 kids out of the car seat and Bram is still in the Duna. He barely fits. He's like squeezing, hanging on for dear life in the Duna, but I refuse to give it up because it's just so convenient. So I try to order ahead and the app isn't working. So I was like, lovely. Now I have to pull up, take them both out of the car, get them in the fucking restaurant, get the takeout and then get back out. But while we're in there, Dimitri decides he wants to eat in the restaurant. And I think I've talked about this before. I hate going out to eat with my kids. I hate it so much. Like it makes my skin crawl. It's so fucking annoying trying to occupy them. Is one going to have a meltdown? Is one going to cry? I need to hold them. I can't eat my food because if you're a parent and you go out to eat with your kids, and I don't give my kids iPads. I'm not judging you if you do. That's fine. Do you, boo. I don't care what you do with your kids. I don't want to give my kids iPads to going out for a restaurant. That's just not what I want to do. So he decides he wants to eat there. And I'm thinking, like, I have 0.2 seconds to make a decision to say, no, we're not eating here, and then have to deal with a meltdown because he wants to eat at the restaurant. Or do I just say, like, fuck it. We had a great day. Let's just like eat at the restaurant. So I decide the latter. We're going to eat there. And it was honestly amazing. It went so well. It was so smooth. Like, I feel like this is it. Like, this is not bad. I've never gone out to eat with kids just myself. If it's me and Matt and then the boys and my stepdaughters and stepson, like, that's one thing. And even that usually turns into a fucking shit show. But I was like, whatever, let's just see. Right. And it was incredible. Like, Bram just like ate out of it. And like, I don't have the plates or silverware or anything for my baby, my 10-month-old. But I was like, we'll just like improvise. We'll figure it out. So like, he's eating all of the turkey and he's eating all of my chicken. Dimitri's only eating the cornbread because he's a toddler. And, like, of course he's not going to eat the meat and the vegetables. He just wants to eat the cornbread. I'm like, whatever. I'm not even going to argue. Eat the cornbread. Have yourself a time. So this is so long because this isn't even what the episode's about. I'm giving you every little fucking detail. However, this was just like going great, right? I'm packing all of the food up, putting it, because we didn't eat it all. We're going to take it home and have leftovers later. And I can like slowly feel like, it's probably about time to change my tampon. When you get to that point and you're like, I need to change my tampon. I have 2 kids and now they're like ready to go. And I'm like, whatever, I'll be fine. I'll just go home and I'll change it when we get home. I'm packing everything up. And now I'm like, oh, I really need to change my tampon. And I refuse to look because I'm like freaking myself out. I'm now putting Bram in his stroller. I'm like bending over, putting him in his stroller. Dimitri's pulling on me. And I happen to look down and I'm like, it's happening. It's actually happening. And now, you guys, this is so embarrassing. So I like have this like kind of long sweater over and I'm like trying to like pull it around me so like nobody can see, but I'm wearing a romper. So it's not like there's nothing I can do about this. It's a full on romper. And then I had a little sweater over it, but you can see everything. Luckily it was leopard print. So there was like, there was a pattern, right? The leopard went and hunted something and then brought it back to his family and they were ravenously hungry. Like it was some shit happening. And it was just to the point where I'm like, now Dimitri wants me to carry him. He doesn't want to walk. And I have the takeout bag. I have the stroller and I have Dimitri and I'm like trying to get, and there's like a little vestibule, like a double door situation. And now everyone is being so nice to me. I'm like, are they being nice because I have 2 kids? Or are they being too nice to me because I have 2 kids and I am hemorrhaging? Like, what is, I'm just like refusing to acknowledge that this is going on. So then I'm like going through, and the woman that was coming into the restaurant as I was leaving, she's like, oh, here, you have your hands full. You have a lot going on. And I'm like, is she saying that because I have kids, or does she know? Like, I was fucking mortified. This is so embarrassing. And it's not like I can joke around. Like if it was my stepdaughters with me, of course, like I would just be like, oh my God, like it is what it is. But because I have like no one to like acknowledge it with, I feel extra embarrassed. So I get in the car and I'm like getting the wipes out of the diaper bag and I'm like trying to like, and Dimitri's freaking out. He's like, Mama, you have a boo-boo. Are you okay? And I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. I'm like, how do I even explain it to him? Cause like, I want to be very open and honest with my kids about all of that. But like, he's 2, like has no grasp. Like he barely knows that he thinks I still have a pee. He doesn't know I have a vagina. Like, it's like, I'm not going to explain this to him. So how do I even like tell him I'm okay? But there's blood. Like it was a lot. It was just a lot. I came home and then I get home and I have to bring everyone in the bathroom with me because I'm like, my kids can't really be by themselves. It was just like a lot in that moment. And I will say that was like the craziest part of the weekend. I was solo parenting all weekend by myself. Matt was out of town. My mom doesn't come over on the weekends. And like she would if I were to ask her, but I feel like she needs a break too. Like she's with my kids 5 days a week. She needs a break. So I was like, I got this. And I'm not going to lie, I was stressed about it leading up to it. but it ended up being like the most incredible weekend. I loved every single second of being home with my kids, minus like the period fiasco. Beyond that, it was just so nice to just get to a point where I felt like I was present. I loved being home with my kids and like, taking a trip to Target, like, and maybe 6 months ago felt like such a far-fetched idea, dream. Like I would never do that. Like I'd rather just not go to Target for the things I need or go when like my husband's home or send him to get something or send my mom because I just am someone who had such crazy anxiety postpartum, especially with two kids. Like leaving the house with one kid feels like a lot, never mind two. And I'm grateful that I have like the system and the village to help me because I never felt like it was possible to leave the house with two kids. And it was just so nice because like I got to enjoy them. And I had the conversation with my mom the other day. I feel like I'm at a point now where I can enjoy my kids and not feel like we're just in survival mode and like, let's just keep everyone alive. Let's just make sure that, we can get through the day, like wishing the time away. I just love being at this point. And I feel like on paper, it would have been an exhausting weekend, but it wasn't. And I feel so lucky and I feel so blessed. And I think it's because I was just being a mom and focusing on mothering my children rather than like having this laundry list in the back of my mind of all the things I needed to do. And I'm usually like that. I'm usually like, I feel like I can't be present because I'm always wondering and worrying about the things that I should be doing. And I don't know if this is like a bold thing to say or if a lot of moms would agree. Like being a mom isn't hard. Like just being a mom to your kids, taking care of them and like being with them and like taking them to do fun things. It's all of the other things that come along with it that make it difficult. The mental load of like, do we have enough diapers? If like doing the nap calculations, doing the cooking, the cleaning, worrying about work, worrying about your never ending list of things to do, making the appointments and never mind taking care of yourself, right? On top of it. So I'm curious if other moms would agree if that's something that like just being a mom is easy, but it's all the other things that make it hard. And I felt like how much of motherhood I don't know if this is a bad thing to ask, but how much of motherhood is like the burnout of motherhood is from mothering or if it's from all the other shit, right? I'm so curious. So I want to know like genuinely for anyone listening, how you feel about that, or am I just kind of being bold by saying that? And I'm not saying like motherhood isn't exhausting, but it's about like trying to be everywhere at once. That to me is what's exhausting and trying to figure out like what else needs to be done? What else could I be doing? What else should I be doing? Have I taken care of myself lately? It's just the constant mental load that is exhausting. And it kind of leads me to where I want to go at this next part of the conversation. And I haven't like made a formal like announcement or like really haven't, I've been thinking about it since what's happened this past weekend. And it's made me realize and question sort of what I'm doing with my company Snatch that I started. So if you don't know, I started this company Snatch when I was pregnant with Dimitri and it finally came to fruition shortly after he was born. And it's a community that I created for women to talk about and educate on all things to do with the perinatal journey. So fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, motherhood, all of the things. And I felt like at that point in my journey and life, things weren't really like the world was kind of different. And that sounds so crazy because it was only a few years ago, but I felt like women weren't talking about all of these things. I had several miscarriages prior to becoming pregnant with Dimitri. I never knew anyone with a miscarriage. I didn't know anyone that talked about having a miscarriage. So I felt like there's something here, right? There's something to being open and honest about our journeys. And it's crazy how in just a few short years, things have kind of shifted and changed. And that's a great thing, right? It's a good problem to have. I'm hoping that my small part in all of it has helped move us to where we're at in society, as mothers and women's health in general. And don't get me wrong, I feel like we still have a long way to go when it comes to women's health, but we have a lot more at our fingertips now. And I feel like everything's kind of shifting. And I've been trying to rack my brain and try to figure out where Snatch fits into all of that, because now we do have so many communities for women, so many apps, so many courses, so many all of the things. So much is available to women at our fingertips and our disposal now that snatch has to change, right? And I've been trying to figure out what that change looks like. And I don't know. And I feel like when I started snatch, I had Dimitri and now I have 2 boys. I was not expecting to have another kid. And now being a mom of 2 and trying to figure out what that journey looks like, I feel like I'm spreading myself so thin. And now like with the podcast and I create tons of content for social media and like trying to be present with my kids and all of the things, I feel like I've been spreading myself so thin. And now that I know I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast about the smoke kind of clearing a little bit and the dust is settling and I'm no longer breastfeeding and I feel like I'm a little more clear-minded. It's really allowed me to figure out and sort of weigh what is important right now. And I feel like taking a step back from snatch and letting it kind of like sit and marinate on what it is I want it to be and what it can look like is the stage I'm in right now, because my mission has never changed. I want to help women. And that's like why I started Snatch to begin with. And I think I chatted about this with Tara last week. Every woman that I've met throughout this journey of creating Snatch and my podcast and like creating content and all of the things, every woman that I meet, they have created something based off of a need that was lacking when they were going through whatever part of their perinatal journey. So like a maternal mental health specialist, you know, she created what she was doing because she didn't have that support, or someone who might have struggles getting pregnant, they created a fertility company, you know, and I think it's so fucking incredible. Like women are so amazing. It's like, oh, this doesn't exist. I'm going to create it. Watch me do it. And like, that is so empowering and I love it so much. And that's why I created Snatch, right? But I feel like I need to take a step back because I don't know what it looks like next. And I genuinely need to figure that out because I feel like I'm trying to like roll the ball up the hill, and while trying to take care of myself, while trying to take care of my kids, while trying to have a podcast, while trying to create content, be a good wife, make time for myself, work out, like sleep, like what is that? And I'm finally at a point now where I'm like, okay, I have to take a step back because I don't know what it is. And again, with everything in the world kind of changing, I need to change with it. And I sat with this decision for a while because even prior to this past weekend of being home with my kids and being present and realizing, oh shit, like this can be great if my mind isn't somewhere else. And that's not to say it's not going to happen again, because I'm sure my mind will be somewhere else eventually, and it still is from time to time. But even prior to this weekend, I have been like racking my brain trying to figure out what I can do with Snatch. Like, why does it feel like so hard right now? And it's because I'm just not meant to be there. I'm not meant to do that right now, and that's okay. And for a little while, I've been kind of feeling guilty because it's like I feel like I failed, and I'm feeling like I try to do this. I'm gonna get emotional. Like I tried to do this thing to help women because that's all I ever wanted to do, was like try to talk about these things and normalize all of these things that women are going through. And like I did, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm like, oh, it's just not what I envisioned, but because like the world changed, right? I've changed. And that's okay. I didn't expect to have another kid. I didn't expect to not know what it was going to be. And like, that's okay. And I might be like emotional about it right now because it's like just actually saying it out loud, but I am okay with it because I know I didn't fail because I'm raising 2 tiny humans. And this is such a short season of life that I don't want to miss it. I can always go back to figuring out what Snatch is going to be. And like, maybe it'll be something completely different, but like the mission will never change, like trying to help women. And luckily I have this podcast being able to help women and talk about all of the things that, and normalize all of these things that we're going through. Even this moment in my life right now that feels very hard, but I'll never, ever get this time back with my kids. Like I'll never get that back. And for me, just the last few weeks of trying to figure out what Snatch is going to be, my hormones kind of settling, having that amazing weekend with my boys and just being present and giving myself permission not to worry about anything else really just brought me to this decision of knowing like this is okay and it's going to be okay. And I am so excited. I feel lighter like after I've made this decision of like, I can just be with my kids and be home. And like, yes, I'm still going to work on content for socials and I'm still going to work on this podcast and like this fills my cup, right? But nothing fills my cup more than like being home with my kids and not feeling guilty about it. Cause even the moments I have been home with them and been quote unquote present, I'm still like, oh, I should be doing this. Like, why I haven't done anything with Snatch? What is it happening with it? Because like, as much as I loved helping women, I'm not a freaking, like, I guess I'm like kind of a businesswoman, but I'm not a business. I don't know how to grow a company. I don't know how to like, what courses do I need to make? Like, I'm not an expert in anything other than wanting to help women. And that doesn't even make me an expert, right? So like, I've been trying to like meet with other women and other experts of like, can we make a course about fertility and make a course about postpartum rage and make like all of these things. But like, that's just not in my wheelhouse, right? Like I know the things that I've struggled with as a mom or throughout my perinatal journey where I'm at right now, but I'm not a fucking expert. So like, that's okay, right? It's okay. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. I just want to be home with my kids and be present and enjoy this time because this is such a short season. And I know I said that already, but I keep telling myself that before I know it, like my kids are going to be in school and be like, what am I doing with my time? I have so much free time. I don't know what to do. So I'm excited to be in this phase I'm in right now and just taking care of my kids, taking care of myself. Because that's another thing. I feel like my mental health, my own personal like personal growth as a person, that doesn't even make any sense. But you know what I'm trying to say. I feel like that has been on the back burner because it's like any free time I do have, it's like trying to figure out what I'm doing with Snatch. And taking that off my plate has allowed me to free up a lot of my mental space and give myself some more time, like for me to just kind of like heal and get better, like mentally and physically. I mean, having fucking a kid is no joke. Never mind having two so close in time. And so I'm just like really excited and I feel really good. And even though I had my period and menstruated all over myself in public, like it's crazy that like didn't even bother me. I was like, whatever, like, yes, it was embarrassing, but it just was such a good weekend. And it's crazy what something like that can just do for your mental health. And I highly encourage you, if anyone out there is in a space where they're just not sure what to do, like take some time for yourself and like take something off your plate, give yourself permission to let something go. Even if you feel like you're failing, even if you feel like you're I feel like I'm letting people down because like I have these women in this community and I'm trying to help them and I'm trying to figure out how to give them the best experience. But like, I just don't have the capacity to do that right now. And that's not to say in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. Like I'm not putting a timeline on it. That will change, right? And I'm just really excited. And I think I'm just in a good spot and I feel really good about it. And I'm not looking back. And again, I haven't made like a formal statement about this and I will, of course, talk with my members and Snatch chat about all of this, but I just like sometimes failing, quote unquote, failing is actually winning. And I feel like a winner right now.
You gotta get on my level.
You did it. Somewhere between the laundry and the meltdowns, you made time for another episode of Hot Mom Shit. If something today made you feel a little less alone, text it to the mom who could use the reminder too. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new episode and come hang out with me at the Leah Vandale. Remember, babe, none of us have our shit together.